Legalizing marijuana is a huge topic in the United States right now. It is the most commonly used prohibited drug and is less habit forming than cigarettes or even chocolate. Many assume that the usage of marijuana or cannabis is dangerous, but it can be the exact opposite. So, why is the legalization of marijuana in the United States such a problem for many people today? Considered to be a gateway drug and the reason for the downfall of our youth nowadays, marijuana has developed a negative reputation. Legalizing cannabis will help our economy along with our citizens, and the effect on the government will be remarkable. It has beneficial medical effects. It will raise a great amount of money for the state while saving money too, and it is less harmful than any other drug, including tobacco and alcohol. An immense amount of reports and studies show that marijuana is highly effective in treating and easing the pain with a number of things. The late Dr. Todd McCurry, former National Administrator of the United States government's marijuana research program, appeared in the Union and discussed that after dealing with about 10,000 patients in the last 15 years, I'd say about 200 different medical conditions respond favorably to cannabis. It prevents, cures, and relieves some of the worst medical conditions still tormenting humankind. A major illness that marijuana helps with is stress, anxiety, or PTSD. A study in May 2013 found that people with PTSD showed lower levels of an endocannabinoid known as an anandamide in the area of the brain associated with fear and anxiety. With few cannabinoids being triggered, in theory, using marijuana would increase concentrations of these constructive cannabinoids. In a press release, Dr. Neumeister from the Departments of Psychology and Radiology at New York University stated, "In fact, we know very well that people with PTSD who use marijuana, a potent cannabinoid, often experience more relief from their symptoms than they do from antidepressants and other psychiatric medications." Marijuana also helps cancer patients in tremendous ways. It has been shown to lighten pain while undergoing chemo, experiencing nausea, vomiting, and loss of appetite. FDA-approved medication, dronabinol, is derived from THC and used in cancer patients and HIV and AIDS patients to treat nausea and vomiting, and is also shown to ease pain in cancer patients. In an article by Jonathan Weiss, he stated, dronabinol, a pill with the main ingredient THC, was compared to smoking marijuana in its ability for patients to cope with pain. Also, according to the NIH, another cannabinoid called cannabidiol has been shown to relieve pain as well as lower inflammation in certain areas. Prohibition requires direct enforcement costs. If marijuana were legal, enforcement costs would be put to rest. All money and time being spent on trying to rid cannabis from the community could be spent towards better, more effective things. According to statistics compiled by the DPA in the first 11 months of 2014, the rate of violent crime fell 2.2% compared with the same period in 2013. In the same time frame, burglaries in Colorado's capital, Denver, decreased by 9.5%, and overall property crime decreased by 8.9%. Laura McCauley states on an article in Common Dreams, "It would save regional and state governments significant sums in presently misused law enforcement dollars." The drug war costs the United States government a tremendous amount each year, and while this failing initiative covers a variety of Schedule I drugs, not just marijuana, spending would surely drop without marijuana in the picture. Instead of wasting thousands on law enforcement initiatives yearly to investigate alleged growers, traffickers, and suppliers, the government could focus on more pressing issues. It would also cut prison spending rather dramatically as well. 52% of all drug arrests in 2010 were for marijuana, and over 7 million people were busted for having marijuana from 2001 to 2006, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. The most obvious economic aspect of the case for legalization lies in tax revenues. If cannabis is sold and regulated by the state, all sales will be taxed. The average annual trade in marijuana is estimated at $113 billion, according to Harvard economist Jeffrey Myron, which represents nearly $45 billion in taxes slipping through our fingers. It will provide a needed boost to the economy The government is really losing money right now. Without being able to regulate and monitor the sale of marijuana, tax authorities are missing out. Colorado's marijuana sales in 2015 peaked in August with 59.2 million sold recreationally and 41.4 million sold medically, says Ricardo Baca from The Cannabist. Recreational marijuana is less dangerous than both alcohol and tobacco, scientists proclaim. Alcohol and tobacco are legal, therefore aren't considered a controlled substance and are not subject to DFA scheduling. Marijuana is a Schedule I drug, meaning it is considered to have the highest potential for abuse and to be the most dangerous. Although, by comparing a lethal dose of each drug to how much of the substance is normally consumed, socially measured probable harm, NBC News stated that the results showed that the dangers of marijuana may have been overestimated in the past. In a 2015 study by Dirk W. Leichenmeer, he found that alcohol and tobacco are high risk and marijuana is considered low risk. According to their results, cannabis is around 114 times less deadly than alcohol and was the only drug out of these examined to pose a low risk. Tobacco use is considered the foremost avoidable cause of death in the United States, and prolonged alcohol use has been connected to everything from heart disease to cancer. Marijuana, on the other hand, medical or not, is not only non-lethal, but likely beneficial, and there isn't a single recorded death due to cannabis. With the recreational and medical legalization of marijuana, our economy will improve drastically. Medical benefits of marijuana are on the rise, to say the least. We've accomplished a lot in the past couple years that we've studied about it. We would generate millions in tax revenue, being able to put it towards children in schools, child care services, or anything else that needs funding, and we would save money as well as make it. Recreational and medical marijuana are both less detrimental than any other drug, as well as tobacco and alcohol. Overall, marijuana usage has plenty of favorable, valuable characteristics that assist with medical issues as well as help you relax and recollect yourself.